Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and online, a lot of online gambling sites is actually um
Run,
run
run by
run run
them.
by our Singapore, some of the Singapore high up those gang member or rich people.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
I
didn't
know this
know.
because I know this because I when I was inside, right, one of my friend, he was sharing with me. He said that he was on the run, and then in the end, someone offered him to go Philippines to work as a, the adjustment of the rates for soccer.
Ah,
You know,
yes, yes,
right,
yes,
when
yes.
there's this floating rate that you have to
Yep,
buy in when the odds are
yep,
different.
yep,
So
yep.
that's or if he was paid 3K a month, and I think there's some commission to it lah.
Wow, that's quite
So
a bit just to do that.
yeah, so and he everything is taken care of, accommodation, all this. So 3K is all for him to just spend.
And
So it's quite a lot. So when he was there, he said that he met the boss.
mm,
So it turned out the boss was he's actually a Singaporean. That's how I realized that okay, a lot of all these big
betting sites. Yeah.
yeah, it all came from Singapore.
How
Not all lah,
interesting.
but many of
Most
them.
of them are.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's why
So
they base themselves in Philippines instead.
maybe because of the labor force as well. You can
I
probably.
know because Philippines made gambling illegal if I'm not wrong.
Oh, is it?
Mm. From my understanding, that should be the case. That's why they ran the operation over
Right, right. It makes sense to actually then run it over there because they
there.
have more rights to do so than in Singapore
Yeah,
when there's a lot of red tape and stuff like that.
correct. Yes, that's right.
So when you first joined the secret society organization, did you have to be initiated into that particular
Mm.
gang?
No, not for me. For me, it's like because I only joined half a year, so and we are still teenagers, so we are not actually we were not actually like pursuing it as a career yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, you join them right usually when you are really so determined and you want to be a hardcore gangster. So yeah, and so we were not offered lah, and as well. So but the initiation nowadays, I only heard about it later when I was inside prison actually. So they were sharing with us and asking me was I initiated before, because I did review that last time I was with this gang. So they was just asking us, sharing, exchanging information lor.
So it's interesting to know that like just because you join at that certain age and then what's your mindset in terms of stepping into this sort of a scenario where like your parents would freak out if they were actually aware, like, but they were obviously, sadly, your dad wasn't aware that this is what's going on with you.
Yeah, kind of ironic because when I got closer to my dad when I came out of prison, right? I visit him and he chat with me. It turned out that my dad actually knows a lot of the big shot, those gangsters in the
Really?
past lah. Yeah, because he's a very rich merchant, so a businessman, so he have a
Businessman.
lot of connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, I suspect my dad actually is one of a high up gang member, but I never asked him lah. It's weird that I asked him. So I know his there was actually once there was a TikTok about this funeral procession, and then there was scene whereby the those people were shouting their logo.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, never.
in the end,
Was
because of
this
this video, all these people was arrested lah. Some of
a
them
couple
lah,
of
not
years
all.
ago? Is it or
Yeah,
most recently?
some years ago. I think 2 3 years ago. 2 years. I actually saw this when I was out. So yeah, around 2 years ago lah. So and in the end, my dad told him that he actually know the person who passed away.
Oh wow. So
It
what were
was
they
it
shouting slogans of the gang slogans?
yeah, yeah, the gang slogans and yeah lah. So and you have to know that it's actually a big funeral procession. So the person who passed away must be of certain status.
Latest, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and before the members, so daring to shout their own slogan on the street, right? I believe this guy must be really
Quite strong.
somebody.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so but back then, as I mentioned, right, I don't have anyone to teach me the consequences of things. So I never thought of
Like
yeah,
what will
I
happen if
really
you do this, or what will happen if you do
yeah,
that? Like,
correct. I was kind of so-called fearless because but instead of saying fearless, I think more ignorant. I'm ignorant of all these things, so I just did what I did.
yeah.
The only time when I realized that things really have consequences and I start to have fear was the day when I was arrested in cantonment.